Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you've had a cracking weekend working on cars, drinking beer, playing computer games, other man stuff. I've been cracking on with the car over the weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't film a lot. Didn't film anything. So what I have been doing though is getting the heater install into the car, and it's been a real turd of a job, to be honest. Not just installing the heater, that's actually quite easy. It's all the bits that I had that are in the way that I had to move. So this is where I'm at the moment. You can see the heater box, sorry, the relay panel with the switches I've had to remove that from where it was back here, sort of angled upwards, because it was just too close to the heater box, which is now mounted there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and do something with that. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna mount it yet. I might just straddle it over this sort of dash brace piece, or I might mount it vertically here and kind of make I've got some ABS plastic, and I might try and extend the dash down to the bottom here. It'll also sort of strengthen up this piece, and hopefully, you know, have that mounted fairly clean. The only thing is it's quite thick, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to do that. And then in the engine bay, I've had to remove my fuel filter, which I did have down the back on the bulkhead there, which I've now got. Hopefully you can see the two fittings for the heater. I put in two bulkhead fittings there, which now come through right there, which was where the filter used to be. So I'm going to have to try and relocate the filter further back, probably back where the fuel tank is. And just before they go into hard pipe to come to the front of the car. So I'm going to try and look at that later today to get that in. I do have a pre-filter in by the fuel pumps, which will probably do the job, but for peace of mind I'm going to put in the other filter, or at least try to. It depends if I've got the space. So I'm off to Abingdon next week, so I'm actually going there tomorrow, driving down, and then we've got the track day at Abingdon on Friday next week. So that'll be next down the line, but that's what I'm getting ready for now. I've got today and tomorrow. I've got all day today, which is Sunday, and then I've got most of tomorrow, which is Monday, because it's the travel day to head down. So yeah, not a lot to get done, but well, like this heat has opened a can of worms, so we'll try and get that done, which will involve me plumbing in the ducting pipes off the sides of the heater, and they need to run up to this area here. I hope it's not too dark, if not I'll get a light in, which we'll do in a minute. This was the old heater, by the way, which as you can see is really quite small. This is the 2.2 kilowatt heater, I believe, and it's just too small it just hasn't got enough power to do the job. The one that I've got in there now is literally 4 times as big, so hopefully that's going to have the juice to make sure the windscreen's clean and clear, but it's probably going to make the cabin quite warm. I might have to put a valve in to the intake heater pipe to close off that heat, and obviously open it up when I need it. But we'll see how that goes. So before I start with the ducting, I'm just going to get this wiring tidied up and this pull cable out of the way. In fact, there's not a lot I can really do with the pull cable, but this wiring, I'm just going to run it back and have it coming off the extinguisher line. First I need to P-clip that line up out the way, because I like to move that as well. So let's do that. Okay, that's the wiring tidied up a bit. I've just rerouted it so it runs over the top from this loom here. Now I'm going to I'm going to start the ducting, and I need to decide whether I'm going to use all 4 ports off each side, or use the upper ports, or just use one side, if that makes sense. I imagine it's got 4 ports for a reason, so I'll try to use them. I've got quite a big space, that big rectangle up there, to fill with the ducting. So hopefully 4 bits of pipe will fill that quite well. And really we want a good volume of air as opposed to pressure, if that makes sense. So probably using 4 ducts to fill that with as much volume as possible. yeah, let's go with that. So I'm going to grab the ducting and start working out some lengths. Bosh. My god, that was not fun at all. But it's in. I'm just going to seal up these top bits with a bit of foil tape, just going between each piece of pipe, zip tie it together to hold it all nice, and that should be it, and I can test it. Alrighty, right, I've just got the fan wired up. Plug this all back together, just loosely for now, obviously. But there she is. It's pretty strong. Can definitely feel a good flow of air up on the windscreen. I'm hoping you can even feel it up there. But that's now coming out the entirety of the windscreen, which is really good, really strong here. Yeah. Oh, so that's plumbed in. So now I've got to, blimey, I've got to bleed the engine bleed the coolant in the engine and top it up, because we lost a little bit obviously out of there, and we need to fill that up with coolant. And try and work out what to do with this now, how I'm going to mount it all back up. Yeah, I'm wondering whether to mount it just flat in here again. Before it was lent up on here, but I should be able to come forward and just go flat. Perhaps sort of straddling this dash piece, or make an ABS sort of dash unit. I think I've already explained this to you guys, but something in there. So that's what I'm going to look at now. Alright guys, I'm going to have a go at making the sort of ABS dash piece. Just had a go at bending a bit using a heat gun, and it actually becomes really pliable when you get it nice and hot. So I've measured out. Okay, so I've just measured out the kind of dimensions that I need, and obviously traced it onto this plastic. So I'm now going to cut it all out and see if we can get some accurate bends into it. I don't know how it's really going to turn out, but I've got a bit of time, so we'll give it a go. Alrighty, that weren't too bad. So there's the dash all bent up, and it looks like it fits pretty good. So that's how it's going to sit, near enough. Yeah, just going to get it bolted in. Make sure it's fairly solid, and then we'll look at mounting up the box of electricery. Alrighty, there we go, man. That is in. It's pretty sweet. It's fairly solid. It'll be more solid when that's in it. So that's all that's left to do, really. Cut that in and sort the wiring out. Ooh, Alright guys, that is that job done. My god, you might notice it is, well, probably not, but it's pitch black outside now, so it's pretty late. I don't even know what time it is. But there we go. Yeah, made a bit of dash out of ABS plastic. It's pretty solid-ish. But more importantly, it holds all this. It's accessible. The wiring's tidy, and it's away from the heat that the heat is going to generate. That's obviously in there and done. Should probably actually make sure everything still works. Can I start the car? Yeah, of course I can. It's got a fan. We got some lights. Got a rain light? Yes. Close enough. Yeah, go back. And then 1, 2. We're there. We're all right. Cushy. Cool. So everything works. All I've got left to do now is to bleed the coolant, but I'm going to do that tomorrow because I am fucked. Bleed the coolant and do other stuff. My god, my mind's gone blank. Obviously I've got to refit the door bar. My ribs are literally bruised from leaning on that all day long, so I just took it out and then didn't have to lean on it anymore. So yeah, I suffered. What have I got to do? Bleed the coolant, fit the fuel filter back up, fit the door bar, give it a hoover out, and try and relocate the fuel filter. So yeah, try and do that tomorrow. And then I'm shooting off to Abingdon for the week, for our training week. So I'll try and get some footage of that. Well, I'll definitely get footage in the car driving around, and hopefully some exterior footage. And that'll be that. So there you go. That's today's jobbed. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Actually, I think it looks really quite smart and much more complete, I suppose, and better than it did before, where it was just laid at the back. I might think about strengthening it down the line, but at the end of the day, I've now got a good bit of strength on to do the pull cable on the extinguisher, even though that'll be going electronic down the line. Yeah, we're good to go. So I'm going to stop talking and go get some dinner, play some computer games, and go to bed. Life story, just in case you wanted to know. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that was a little bit more of an interesting episode. I'm sorry the last few episodes haven't been all that, but we've got Abingdon coming up, and we've got a lot of other good stuff coming, so stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Cheers, guys. Bye bye. Yeah, we're halfway there.